Well, Queensland Yachtsman Glenn Ey is well and truly back on dry land after being rescued from his yacht 270 nautical miles off the coast of New South Wales overnight. He arrived in Sydney early this morning after a 24-hour journey on a rescue boat through rough seas. Glenn Ey joins me now. Glenn, welcome. You must be pretty tired.
You, yes, I'm tired, but
because you only just got back this morning.
That's right. Yes, a little tired, but very, very relieved to be back on dry land and to see my family and. Yeah, thanks to the wonderful efforts of many people, I'm back here. Thank you.
Have you slept much in the last 4 days?
No, very little. Prior to that, a little bit on the boat when I was trying to get back here. I was able to sleep a bit during the nights.
Yeah.
But no, in the last couple of days, not much. No.
So was this part of a round-the-world trip?
Not so much. I was just travelling down the east coast of Australia from Brisbane, just calling into the different places of interest on the way down. On this particular trip, I was just on my way to Eden, just check out the maritime history, the Maritime Museum in Eden, just have a look down there.
On the south coast of New South Wales?
Yes.
So you set out from Pittwater, just to the north of Sydney a couple of days ago?
On the 3rd of October,
right.
I left Pittwater. Nice conditions, a nice northwesterly. I was just making my way down the coast. It was beautiful, really.
Yep.
A couple of miles off the coast, 5 miles off Sydney, I suppose. I was talking to my sister by phone, that's how close I was. I carried on during the afternoon. I got down off Wollongong by sunset, and the next day is when the southeasterly gale come through, and I just I altered course. I heaved to and I just jogged out to sea. It's the safest thing to do. Get away from land, get away from the shipping, and just it's called sea room. You just get out to sea a bit,
Bit of space.
Bit of space, yeah.
And so what happened when that storm hit?
Okay, I was expecting a southerly change that was forecast. That never eventuated. This southeasterly storm come through. And as I said, I just heaved to, which means you pull the sail down, you just let the boat jog out to sea by itself, right? It was a fairly quick boat. We used to do about 3.5 knots heave to. So the storm intensified, and during 2 days I just making my way out to sea. The boat's making its own way out to sea. So after 2 days I was about 120 miles off Wollongong.
Were you starting to get concerned then that you were getting too far out to sea?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. The boat was handling it quite well.
Yep.
Very, very high winds and large seas. A lot of the waves were actually coming over the boat, but that's okay, right? There's a lot of water on deck, but it's okay. I was quite comfortable, and I knew there was only about 1 day left in the gale before things would start abating.
Yep.
I wasn't overly concerned. It's very rough, extremely rough, but I was quite happy with the boat until midday Sunday. I was actually just taking my position, and a huge wave just come along and rolled me, and dismasted me. It was.
And what was it like being? Were you in the cabin when that wave hit?
Sure.
I mean, you would have been thrown around the cabin.
Sure.
Were you injured then?
No, thankfully no. I was inside. Yes. It was way too rough to be outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say 1 in 5, 1 in 10 of waves were going right over the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very large seas.
Not comfortable at all. And so the boat rolls, the yacht rolls. You're inside the cabin.
Yeah.
You stand up and go. Could you go outside at that stage, or was it still too rough to see what had happened to the yacht?
Yeah. It all happens very, very quickly, and it's most unpleasant. 1 minute you're sitting on the settee on a sofa type thing inside the boat, and then I just smashed into the roof. It's very, very forceful. It's a huge wave is hitting you, huh?
Yeah.
Rolls you over. So I just dived head first into the roof, rolled over, and then I dropped back down onto the table. Unfortunately, the starboard companionway was torn off, so a lot of water came in the boat, and everything was just floating around inside the boat. I put my head outside. The mast had come down. It was broken in 3 places. There's a real mess on deck. There's rigging and ropes and stuff everywhere. I wasn't going.
So what is this in the middle of the night? Or
no, this was midday.
So at least it was light.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so at that stage you knew you're in deep trouble, and you made the emergency call.
No. I was in deep trouble, and you are concerned about your life. There's no question about that. my first priority was to sort out the mast, because in rough seas the mast can puncture the boat very easily. Yeah, it'll just spear the boat, and that's it. You're going to go down so quick, it's not funny. So I had to get rid of the mast. I did a couple of things. After 36 hours, I did eventually have that sorted out. I got rid of it. Yeah. Initially, I brought the largest piece on the boat, and the waves still broke that in half. You have to understand that once you've rolled, the weather doesn't suddenly come good, right?
So how long after you rolled did you actually make the emergency call for
A
someone
long
to come?
time. A long time, because
you thought you could get back?
Yeah, I actually wanted to. I got rid of the mast. That was about 30, all in the roller rig, and that took about 36 hours. Then I spent a day bailing the boat out, yeah?
Jeez. Why didn't you call emergency services earlier?
No, I didn't even give it a thought, to be honest with you. You're looking at surviving, right? If you don't get rid of that mast, you're not going to survive. You might set off the EPIRB, but you won't survive. Right. It's going to go down in minutes.
Yep.
Yeah? And then you're in the water. You have to stay in the boat.
Yep.
You got to try and keep the boat afloat. Yeah? Yep. That's gonna save you, not the EPIRB at that point.
Yeah.
Right? So that was my first priority. So after 2 days, I'd got rid of the mast, and I'd bailed the boat out. The storm had started to abate, and the following 2 days, so now 3 and 4 after I was rolled, weren't so bad. And I looked at my position, and I was 120 miles off the coast, 125 miles off the coast. Yep. And I firmly believed I could get back without too many dramas. Motoring when the weather was okay, and I rigged up a jury rig. I used my spinnaker pole as a mast. Yep. And a bit of the sail. So
you tried to remain independent. Unfortunately, we've got to wrap up shortly. But just tell us how happy you were to see the rescuers when they came. Or when did you finally make the decision to call the rescuers, and how happy were you?
Okay, well, I tried for 9 days to get back to Sydney. Yeah, and I wasn't getting anywhere because of a current that was pushing me out to sea the whole time. So I set the EPIRB off, and then the efforts of many wonderful people come together.
Including the plane, the Air Canadian plane.
Yeah, they were diverted. A New Zealand flight as well, apparently, was also diverted. Yeah. And lots of wonderful people come together and saved me. Thank you. Thank you.
You're going to be heading back out to sea anytime soon?
No. No, I'm not.
Not for a while.
It's too scary.
Okay, well, have a happy stay in Sydney for a while.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Thanks so much for coming in.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Cheers. Just hang there.